You on the red couch with Burn. You sitting here with one of these dope guests that I have. But I mean, this one is special, right? This one is so special because she is the future of podcasts, right? That's what she said. Oh, she done crossed herself out here. She's the future of podcasts. Her name is Aileen. Aileen, what's going on?
It's a pleasure.
All right. Damn, I broke my head.
I'm sorry.
No. So we met at an event a couple of weeks ago. It was called Catch These Compliments. It was by Chastity PR. She is the PR for Math Hoffa's My Expert Opinion. And Big Ani, I think that's her name, Big Ani. We met there, and I just felt like you had a dope spirit. And I felt like, you know what, I gotta have her on my show, cause I gotta hear her story. And your story is a unique one, right? But before we get into that, let's just talk about how your day was. How was your day?
Well, I started it at church at this point. I'm a
the
church
Lord.
girl. And I just took it easy because it's my first time podcasting. So I was just trying to breathe it out, not overthink, and kind of keep it like chill.
Okay, that's what's up. I'm trying to go to church, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
It's the only time I can meditate.
Every time I go to church, I end up crying a lot.
You have to let it out.
Yeah, but then every time though, like
yeah, that means that you've been hiding it for too long.
No,
you just cry.
It's just like, I don't know. It just comes out. I might as well just tell the world right now. Okay, let me just tell y'all something real quick, a little bit about me. I cry, or you know what? My eyes water during America's Got Talent.
Really?
Like, yo, when
the voices.
Yeah, but it's not only that. It's like when people have like autism, and then they could just come on and change this into that. It's like,
I get that. Yeah.
I just feel like a little, like so emotional. I don't know if it's a happy cry or not. You know what I'm saying? But church is I feel like it's too much for me. Like, I don't know. I want to go back though. But
I think you should.
Yeah. What's the name of your church? Or you don't even got to tell me, but how big is it though? Like, is it big or small?
It's not a big church. It's more of a Spanish. I'm Catholic, but I'm open to any religion. I've been to like any kind of like Buddhist.
It's a Spanish.
Yeah, it's just I like spiritual things in general. I'm spiritually aware. But I go to the Catholic church because it reminds me of my grandma that raised me, and those are my memories with her. And I used to see her go really sad and be very happy and feel content, and also the faith that she installed. I've seen it. Even after like so many childhood issues. Our
grandparents went to church. Like, you know what? I really want to go back, but it's kind of like I feel like people judge you a lot in those spaces, though. It's like
you're right. They do.
It's like everybody's running to get saved.
You're right. One priest told me you don't even need to be in the building as long as you pray and you confess your sins to him. You're forgiven. I like to do the church because it just brings me closer to my grandma.
There's a lot of Spanish people in your church?
It's a lot of Spanish, but they do have English.
They say
but I like the music better in Spanish. Like the music, the choir is really like guitar, piano. Ooh. Like you feel that spirit. It really wakes your spirit.
You said it's a Catholic church.
It's a Catholic church, but we have guitars, pianos. We're singing gospel.
Because normally in a Catholic church they're like me.
It's more like the Upper East Side. Sometimes I tap into that. It depends the neighborhood. That's
what's up. You go to the Spanish church. Jesus sweating on the cross. It's hot as hell. They got AC.
Yeah.
Alright, good.
This ain't 19. Not like back in the day, you know. I remember those days when there was no AC.
They say 1998, boy. You ain't have no. I was raised by a Spanish woman, or for at least for a little bit of my life, and she was crazy. We ain't gonna talk about her right now. We gonna talk about Aileen right now. You said you're from Puerto Rico.
Well, yes, I was born and raised in New York, so I'm considered a New York Rican. But yeah, my parents are from Puerto Rico.
But you've been to Puerto Rico before?
Yeah, I've went every summer.
All right, I got a question for you. What happened to all the Puerto Ricans? Because when I was younger, it was mad Puerto Ricans everywhere. What happened?
They're like multicultural right now. Like everyone's a blend. You can have a Puerto Rican. I've met a Puerto Rican Asian. I met a Puerto Rican black.
Somebody told me that all the Puerto Ricans went back to Puerto Rico. They was like, hell, y'all can have this.
No, they here. They just flying everywhere. Like you got Florida, even Utica, where my daughter attends school. I seen a bunch of Puerto Ricans there, and I'm like the light skinned ones.
That's what I grew up around, man. I miss being around a whole bunch of Puerto Ricans, man. The culture, the music, the dancing, the Pepsi. I love Pepsi. Favorite drink.
Massive food.
Mad food. Like, yo, all right. So here's a little bit of discrimination, right? You know, I got some Spanish in me because I can say this, right? Why y'all put so much rice with the food though? It's a lot of rice though. Yellow rice. Like, come on now.
Because it's gonna fill your stomach. So
okay.
Back then, I don't know, we eat rice because it fills you up. So I guess back in the day when things were poor, rice was a meal that was filling.
So it stuck with you.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I can eat rice in the morning with a fried egg.
No,
you ever try
don't do that. No. You know what? I'm trying to think. No, I don't think I would ever. Because when you think about white rice with eggs, fried eggs, chop it up,
like with the yolk being medium.
No runny eggs over here, buddy. No, sir. We're not doing no runny eggs, man. So on a serious note, I heard you speak about something during the time that we met, and you spoke about dealing with the death of your husband.
Correct.
Like, how do you deal with the death of someone that you loved so much?
I'm still dealing with it. It's just every day I power through and do my best.
Okay.
But I know that he's given me so much guidance in my life since the age of 14 that sometimes his words resonate in my mind, and I get vivid memories of like something he would say. Like if I had a job interview recently and I was just like overthinking, like, oh, am I good enough? And he would be like my little DJ Khaled and be like, you got this. Like, they're blessed to have you here. You know, he was one of those smooth, confident, caring, outgoing, make it happen kind of guy that I had to like look in the mirror and be like, I got this. Yeah, they're blessed to have me. And if I'm not chosen, it's cool because I still know I'm great and they lost.
So do you feel like everything that you do from you know, at this point, this man or your husband is sitting right on your shoulder,
always
guiding you every step of the way?
I feel him spiritually.
And you feel him spiritually.
And I get to live it with my kids too because they have a personality. So my daughter challenges me, my son challenges me.
Is that his personality or yours?
Yeah, they're all his personality.
They got you. He got you.
Yeah, he won this personality. My kids are very lovable, respected, responsible, outgoing, and also optimistic. Like when they want something, they go really hard, and when they do go hard for it, it happens. And to see the 1% be a 99% is like the greatest feeling and the greatest thing to see.
How old were they when he passed?
My son, he passed 2 years ago. So Max was 4, gonna be 5, and my daughter was 17, about to be 18. 17, about to be 18. Yeah.
Do the kids? How do kids take that? Like one of the questions that I have for you is, how do you help the kids to understand, or can you give some advice on how you help children understand death?
Well, I don't know, but when he passed, my brain was like, my kids need emotional support. So I went to a priest to have a talk with my son about life and death. I went to his pediatrician, and she's like, he needs to learn the cycle of life. And unfortunately, his dad is a main role, and he needs to know the difference between loss and therapy. And I let them speak about their dad. Like, I don't think that a lot of therapists say that back then a lot of people didn't remember their dads when it was my son's age because they didn't. It was like out of sight, out of mind. I don't.
Because that's how it was. Yeah. That's how a lot of the
fathers
power
through out of sight, out of mind. I'm very in tune and very open, and I speak, and my kids are open speakers. So my son will tell me I miss my dad today, and you know I give it to him in a way where I make it seem like, oh, you know, God needed this warrior, and he was the only one that can help save the day. And you know, unfortunately, like he's fighting a war that it's invisible, but like he's guiding you spiritually because you're God's child, and God needed his child back home. And he's like, you know, be honest with you, my kid was like, why he couldn't pick someone else? And I was like, I don't know why he couldn't pick anyone else, but like actually your dad is the greatest fighter and the greatest warrior ever. So he taught us how to be strong, and he knows that we'll be okay without him. And that's how so he sees it like that. Like my dad is out there doing like great things with God up there.
So what you just said, let me just sum this up, because I love how you put it all together. You need some spiritual guidance.
Always.
Right. And then you also mentioned, which is very important, you mentioned going to the pediatrician.
Yes.
To get some advice, because we think we know everything. We think we know our kids better than ourselves, but sometimes you need to get the advice from somebody else, the professional.
Yes.
Just to see, like, you know, one of the things I read on the back of my daughter's doctor's papers, it said when she was younger, it spoke about putting a child in timeout. You know, we laughed about that growing up. Like, you was like, your white people always putting their child in time. You go in timeout, Johnny. But you know what? That's actually good, though.
It is. I'm learning that now as an adult. Because in our culture, it's like...
Bust them upside the head.
You don't have a voice. You're the child, I'm the adult, right? That was the phrase back in the day, right?
It's segueing into to one of my questions that I have for you later, but I could talk about it now, is what do you feel about beating children? Oh, damn. Got your ass beat.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I had my first daughter, Bella. I had her at 19. So yeah, she grew up like how I grew up. Like,
is that like a stigma or something that stuck with you, or it was necessary?
It's what stuck to me, what I knew. But the fear made me do the right things. Fearing my aunt and my mom as I was being raised. Sometimes fear did teach me how to be like, line up, this is what it is. With Max, he's a different child, so I parent different, and Bella criticizes me like, are you so soft with him? I've noticed he's very emotional, and I have to like talk to him and bargain with him, but I've been teaching him like the tone of my voice. I was like, do you hear this tone of my voice? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I mad? And he's like, you're mad. You're medium. One time he told someone on a play date, your voice is medium. So I was like, what do you think that means? He goes, that you're about to be mad in a little bit. And I was like, okay, so then what do you think you should do? And he's like, I'm just gonna calm down. And he did. He, like, you know, he's different.
Just on a note, because you just made me think about something. Sometimes I jump into certain things, and we'll go back into this. Because you just spoke about a child being mad, and I was thinking about something earlier. What is the procedure, or what do you tell your child when another child hits them in school? Like, what do you tell them? Like,
I can tell you what my son did.
Yeah, like, what do you tell them though? Like, what do you say what to do when a child hits you in school?
I'm like always telling them, look at the teacher, like tell the teacher, tell someone, but third time, like you protect yourself. Hit back. I'm sorry, you know, old school. But
old school.
My son is not like someone that likes to hit people. He cares for people. So the other day I had a play date, and the little girl like pinched him, and he knew that I wasn't gonna say anything, and we could have talked about it in the house, but he was like, can I speak to you? And he went to the mom, and he was like, such and such did this and hurt my feelings, and I just wanted to let you know that she really hurt and offended me.
Man.
And she was like, oh my goodness, like he's an old soul, and he literally vouched for himself.
I'm trying to teach my daughter, because she's not
and
a
it made
fighter.
it better for me, because now I didn't have to be that mom, because some moms don't like to be corrected.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, I'm one of those moms that if I see my son out out of line, I'm gonna be like, hey, what are we doing here? I'm not gonna pretend. Or
I teach my daughter. Step one, tell a teacher.
Always.
Right. Step one, tell a teacher. If another child hits you, step one, tell the teacher. Step two, if they come back, tell
again.
Well, look, man, I'm getting.
Are you doing a 2-shot kind of situation? That's a 3-strike system over here.
You know what? You ain't gonna be losing teeth around here no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of stuff that
you gotta teach her the 3 steps. 3 strikes, you're out.
I did that, but it's like, come on though. Like, yo, you spoke to the teacher already. Like, all right. So here's the thing: you do get the 3 steps, right? But then you gotta remember that sometimes these things happen every day, right? So now the next day, do you give that same child 3 times, three tries? No. I done told your ass yesterday, don't put your hands on me. So now you getting 2 times today. And maybe I done told you today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, I ain't saying nothing. I'm just gonna buzz you. Right? Yeah.
So my daughter used to get embarrassed, but I'll be that mom to have an emergency morning meeting at 7:30 in the morning and bring everybody down because I'm missing work. And with Max, he's outspoken. My daughter was very outspoken. They've always been like old souls, and they know how to speak for themselves since they were little. Like my son would just say he asked the counselor, tell the teacher, tell the kid's parent. He will straight wait till we get after school and be like, can we speak to such and such parent because this kid did this.
So basically, tell the teacher.
Tell the teacher. Tell the counselor.
Tell the counselor.
Tell your mother.
Tell your mother.
Because the only way to turn that off is telling the principal you have a kid that
okay,
has
so
a
what's the
behavior
last
issue.
resort? Like when
I mean, as long as you're not physically putting hands on him, like
when does your child get a chance to bust another kid in the head?
It's not like that no more. We can't be. You go to jail.
What are you talking about? No, they're not.
You know they can write a report, like, and then when you transfer into school, they have like a whole. Like,
right. So then you can't.
And then the bullying thing is real serious. Like I was using the word bully, and they made it seem like it was like I was trying to do a process, and I'm like, no, this is just the way old school I say bully. Like someone bothered me. Like I can say at work someone bullied me.
I guess so.
And they take it real serious when you say that word. That's a process. That's like saying like there's a criminal process going on in the school. I never knew that, so I had to have a meeting with the teachers in person, and I was just like, and when I explained,
don't be teaching your kids to hit people back.
No.
Okay, don't listen to me.
No.
I don't teach my child to hit people back. You know what I'm saying?
But if they put hands. I always say if it gets physical and you gotta like protect yourself, then fine. What I'm saying. But words don't hurt, like you know.
Yeah, my child is not. She's a little dainty, so she doesn't know anything about fighting. So I'm trying this.
No, she'll get it because my daughter got pushed to the limit. No, my daughter got pushed. She was just like that, real girly. I even had to put her in softball. Like I need you to get a little roughed, and my daughter was very sarcastic since a young age. And I was like, you better have hands to back that mouth you have there because your sarcasm can.
That's what's gonna happen.
You know, and then one day someone tried to ruffle her skin and she stood up and like
bust him in the head.
Yeah, and they tried to like video her and I'm like, when
I
saw the video of me and her dad, he was like, you saw how hard she is? You see how hard she is? I was like, we were a little proud.
That's what dads do.
You know, we were proud and we were
Would you be proud? Would you be proud watching your child beat another child down?
No, but be proud that she was able to hold her ground because it was it was like you can see hatred, right? And I didn't teach my daughter. She didn't grow up like I was able to filter her life. She didn't grow up like us in the 90s where we used to have fist fights in the schools. Parents would fight each other. Like that's why it's so many weird things that used to happen with 90 kids.
Traumatic.
It used to be, yeah. But to see that she can actually not be, she's always been street smart, but not like in the park playing and having fist fights like we used to. Back in the days, you know, you had no choice. You had to
came
fight.
Home with scrapes and bruises.
Yeah, because you had no choice. To see that she actually defended herself and did a great job protecting herself for her first time, I was like, all right, cool. She got a little urban in her, like in that sense.
Let me ask you, how much of that do you think Dad taught? Or is in the children because of dad? Dads
are extremely important in a child's life, especially for a female. It teaches them to their first love, teaches them how a man should treat them, and for a male, it teaches them how to be a man and how to nurture and care for a woman. So I feel a dad in general, a two-home family is important, and even if it's not a two home, the communication is important to have, because you guys got to work with each other to death do his part at this point, right? Because the kids are gonna keep living, and the only one that's gonna die is us, because we're gonna get older, and like you want to instill that even if things don't work out well, you still have to have that relationship established.
You gotta have that relationship established,
whether you like it or not. Even if it's basic meet and greet on holidays, you just have to have it.
Do that. You on the red couch with Bern, and you sitting here with Aileen, and we talking about how you raise these children, especially after a death. And Aileen's husband died, and you know, after that, she has to raise these children. And how is it raising a boy as a woman?
It's funny because I used to joke on my husband about being a mama's boy, and he used to be like, "You're raising a mama's boy," but I'm like a well-tamed mama's boy. Like, I'm teaching him to learn how to appreciate women, not abuse women, and also be self-sufficient. Not a lot of men are taught to be self-sufficient when you have like an old school traditional setting where your mom, your dad are in a home, and your mom's old school tradition, stay home, and the dad goes to work. Now, modern times is like mom and dad goes to work. Everyone goes to work.
Wow.
You know, so
because everybody gotta. I mean, because it's hard out here in these streets, so you gotta work. Both parents gotta work.
But God forbid, and thank God that I didn't just turn into just being a house mom, because circumstances like this occur. So like, what would I do? Like 23 years later,
so you
like
prepared
not having
yourself for this moment, kind of.
I mean, I'm gonna say, yeah, the universe prepared me, but I also grew up with like single women in my house. I was raised by my aunt. I was raised by my mom. My dad left my life at 11, and they always taught me like I had to be self-sufficient, and I always kept that in my mind.
They say like if you got a boy and a girl as a woman, you got like your favorites. Right now, you can say whatever you want to say because we got certain people here, but I'm just saying though, right? Like, normally the boys gravitate towards their mom, and the mom gravitate towards the boy, and the girls gravitate towards their father. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
I feel it's that way because us female would go, it's like going alpha to alpha, right? And then the males are alphaing each other out. Like, if you notice, when two females are in a room, someone, and then same with males are gonna go out there real firm and like, I'm an alpha.
So there's a balance.
It's a balance.
But a baby is not an alpha yet. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Some babies are.
Okay, I guess.
You're not gonna remember these crazy nights when we were asleep.
Street kids was outside at 2 o'clock.
My son shows me a lot of love. He appreciates me even more now because he experienced the loss of his dad. So I've noticed that he's always worried for me, always trying to look out for me, trying to like tell me I look beautiful, always say I love you,
that's nice.
butters me up nonstop, and he's a little alpha. I can't be around men and him not like, he'll stare at them like, like, this is my mom, like what is this here, like what are you like, and he'll be like, are you my dad's friend? And I'm like, yeah, it is actually your dad's friend. And he'll be like, oh, okay. But like, he's questioned. Even my daughter, he's very strict with us. I think that as he gets older, he's definitely gonna be the king to the house. Like, he's gonna deliver what his dad taught him in those 4 years, because my husband taught him a lot of things at 4 years old.
Do you think that dudes care when you walking down the street and you with your son and your daughter and they try to holler at you?
No, they don't care. They're disrespectful. No.
I don't know. I think that
some, not all, but I'm just saying.
I think that sometimes we see you as a loving parent, and that's why we say something.
Saying less is even appreciated.
I think that, yeah, and I think it's disrespectful to a certain degree to say something to a woman when she's with her children. I think it is to a certain degree because you don't know the relationship that those children have with her or with anyone. So you saying something to her could open up a whole nother can of worms. Next thing you know, the kid's coming home, Daddy, this man, he has said that mommy, she got a big thing, and then next thing you know,
it's trauma.
Right.
I feel like if they filter what they say, like it's okay to say, "Oh, you're beautiful. You have beautiful kids." It's like when it gets awkward and like the stares and the weird.
Don't even
comments.
say that. Don't even. If you a dude, don't even say my daughter look beautiful. Don't even do that.
My husband took pride of having a beautiful daughter.
I get it. But I'm just saying though, man. Like, yo, some of these dudes are creepy, man.
They are yeah.
I was on a bus one day and this man was like, "Hey, beautiful." So now I'm looking. See, this is the thing that I don't like. I don't like when the other person says something to my child and not to me first. I don't know.
Agree. No, you're right. I mean, it's a minor. It's a whole big deal.
So
like,
I don't feel like you should be like, "Oh, you so beautiful. You so beautiful. You did the dirt." I just be sitting there like, "Damn, what?" Hello.
Well, I've done that. I've seen cute kids, and I'm like, I'll go to a parent. Oh my God, you made such pretty kids.
Right.
Like, oh my goodness. And then I let the compliment roll to my kid if they say it to me. But the weird, with society today, and it's not great to go speak to the child before not speaking to the parent.
One day, this man walked up and pat my daughter on the head and kept on walking. I looked and was like, "No, I know you didn't just do that," because she had the big afro like this, and he was like. And kept on moving. Almost lost it.
I would have lost it too.
Almost lost it.
It's like, do you wash your hands? By the way, we don't know, right?
So you said you was a boy girl.
I was a boy girl.
So do you think that helped you raise your son?
Yeah.
Or you was a boy girl. How did you? Like, what slowed you down? Like, when were you able to tap into your feminine side?
I always had a feminine side. I'm always feminine. I feel like because me and my husband were friends since we were 14 years old, we used to always be boy settings, and I had separate boyfriends, like not like boyfriends, but like friends that are guys, and it was never no perv. It was really like authentic love, and to the point where my husband became friends with them, and like I would just be like, "Oh, I'm at this spot with this person," and okay, cool, I'll be there in 10 minutes to join you guys, and some people will be like, "That's so weird," and I'm like, "Why is this weird?" You know your wife, you know now, you know your wife, and you know what you're capable to put her around.
I don't know, man. I have never had a relationship that long. I wish somebody would find me, you know, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm here, you know. What you said, 14 years?
14 years old. So 23 years in the making.
23 years. Wow, that is a long time.
So we were friends before, boyfriends before, parents. It's when you're in a relationship so long, in these 23 years, I had a best friend, I had a partner in life, and we were parents.
Sometimes people fall out of love. I've met a lot of people that have had long relationships, and then they said, "Oh, we're not together anymore." And I asked why, and they say, "Oh, we just grew apart." I'm like, how though?
You gotta balance every title in your home. You gotta know the man that you fell in love with and what he loved about you, and you got to keep that still manifesting. You got to also keep the balance of being parents. Not every time parents are gonna like agree on the same thing. It's just agree to disagree and find a balance within there. And the third is that you just never lose your friend.
Yeah, you on the red couch with Bernie. You sitting here with Aileen, and we spoke about raising children, especially after losing a loved one. And we spoke about her husband, Big Billy, how he raised these kids to be who they are today. But we also spoke about how Aileen has to raise a young man on her own with some help from the family, because you know, it takes a village to raise the children, but basically on her own. And so do you think that you're gonna skip the part where he's gonna become a mama's boy?
No. My son is very in tune. He's actually mature. He's like a 7-year-old about to be like a 10-year-old at this point. His mindset is advanced. He's very mindful and caring about everyone around him, whether it's female or male. He's like very in tune, like about feelings and people. I am gonna raise. He is a mama's boy because he loves me to death and I love him to death. We do. He's just gonna be the filter one. So I've been teaching like be mindful of me.
I was on Facebook and I see a lot of women complaining about men. just complaining all day. Just I can't stand when this dude does this. I can't stand when this dude does this. I can't stand when this dude does that. Right? And then a lot of them talk about mama's boys. Mm-hmm. Right? And men that were raised by their mother. Right? And you know, I wasn't, but I'm just saying, it's weird to me how that cycle goes, because this woman that's saying that might end up having a son, and then that son might end up being a mama's boy too.
It's different though. Back then, it's like, I feel like boys weren't corrected properly. Mm-hmm. In the sense of growing up, it was like, you had to do for the man. You had to be the one to cook and clean. You had to be the one to have all these things. Like, I think back then in the 90s, that's why men became mama's boy and difficult, because it was just like, women didn't teach them to be self-sufficient. And I'm teaching him to be self-sufficient, because he don't need no girl to cook him a meal. He's gonna learn how to cook that meal. He's gonna learn how to clean his apartment. He's gonna learn how to like make his doctor's appointments. Like, I've experienced having to be like an assistant, like, you're medical, you're this. I'm like, teach your son how to be self-sufficient. And also, my responsibility is just to love him, because that's the only way he's gonna know how to love a woman in his life.
So love your son, and that's how your son is gonna know how to love a woman.
Yes.
Do you believe in spare the rod, sport a child? Because that's that Bible stuff. Beat your kid.
I kind of wing it, man. I don't really have.
I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Why? Because every kid is not the same, so you can't go with the same lesson. You have to see what the kid is, and then as you go, you're building lessons. Like, even with my college girl, my daughter's in college, and I'm learning that I was always the bad cop, and I didn't mind to be the bad cop, because I always wanted everybody. I was the one that made sure everybody was lined up and doing what they needed to do.
Right. So you had to be strong about it.
After losing my husband, she became a bit. I understood her. I had to be a little soft. I was too rough on her, and I was putting too much on her. And every day is a work in process. But I try to like also adapt myself to my kids' personality, because they're different. And I think that we were taught to be a certain way instead of just working with the personality of the child. Like, oh, this kid is curious, then we're gonna have to learn how to like tame their curiosity and add morals to it. Or the outlaw kids that want to be outlaws, like, you got to actually like work with them, and then add and install the faith, the rules, the morals, everything in it, because every kid is different.
Yo, y'all don't understand the advice y'all getting right now. If you understood the advice you was getting right now, you'd be very thankful, grateful, and everything else would have fall at the end, because this type of advice you just can't get on the streets anywhere. You sitting here with Aileen, folks, the future of podcasts right now. So just watch. She's coming, because she's about to come to my class, because after this is over, I'm about to tell her when my class is, and then she's going to say, I'm coming, and then she's going to get there, and then it's on and popping.
Well, you know, originally I came on that scene,
Catch These Compliments.
I had a friend that was speaking on domestic violence, and she brought me out, and she was like, I think you'll be good at public speaking, and she was like, come out, like, see what it's about, see the life. And when I went that day, I was like, I was loving everything. Everybody was spiritually in tune. It was like a good vibe. Everybody was vulnerable. It wasn't materialistic. It was like, I was broke. My father didn't love me enough. My mother didn't love me enough. It was like broken people that learned how to put the pieces back correctly.
I got a friend that I want you to meet, that I thought about when I heard your story. Her name is Tamika Reed. She had two husbands that got killed, that had nothing to do with either or, and she keeps it moving, man. She has books, many books out, and I don't want to pat myself on the back and really talk about what I did for her, but I started her writing career, right? She started writing already, but I just put her in the right path to start her publishing and actually get a book published and like get it out there. And now she's doing really great with it. And that's how she copes with the death of her loved one, how do you cope with it? Like, what do you find to cope with it? Like, how do you cope?
I mean, I cry. I release it.
Because before you said, I asked you, how do you deal with it? And you said, I deal with it every day. But I'm just saying, like, how do you cope with it? Like, what mechanisms or methods can you give to someone else to cope with it?
Throughout every storm, there's always a shine, a rainbow right after it, you know? I don't feel I came here for a purpose, and it probably had to enjoy and be grateful that I found him and he implemented everything a man needs to do for me. And moving forward in my future husband, I'm gonna know who and what is needed of it. And I'm not in no rush. But I lived a great love.
She said future husband.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I got a son to raise.
Because you see, that was part of my next question. Because my friend, I don't think that she trying to, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that she trying to get into nothing with nobody. Like, after that was too tragic. It's a wrap. So, like, how do you fix your mind to even think that you would be with anyone else after losing somebody that you've been with for so long? Like, how do you, like
well, I mean, he's gonna want me. He's gonna want me to live. He's not gonna want me to be walking dead.
He don't want you to be in the house with 20 cats
and like not living my best life. So I don't, right now I'm all about my schooling, getting my career up to a certain level. Eventually that will come. I'm not putting any time on it. Like, it'll come naturally.
How do you know that one will be the right one?
Oh, trust and believe. 23 years of experience, I'm gonna know. I could look at something and be like, nah, it's not for me. I know. Sorry, I said it.
Nah, because you know what's crazy? I feel like,
and it's not even
appearance. All right, so you got lucky, right? You got lucky.
I got very lucky.
You dealt with somebody that was really good since a young age, right?
Yeah.
But like, people change.
And he's changed, and I changed several times. I feel like when you have a kids, it changes the whole relationship. You're not so intimate anymore because you're busy running a house. You got work. Everyone's schedule is different. Things always change. It's how you adapt with the change. You go with the change. You go with the flow. Or if you continue to be closed-minded and not open-minded, that people do change, and you want to be a person that changes every year. You want to be different every year of your life to your dying day.
They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the word ugly exists.
Yeah.
What's ugly? Like what is ugly?
Ugly is the fact that I lost my husband.
Oh, damn, you almost made me cry.
But ugly can also make pretty things. And I feel
ugly
like
can
with
make
this,
pretty things. What do you mean?
This ugly situation, this ugly tragedy, this ugly pain will be the brightest thing for my future, because he's up there moving everything to make sure that me and my kids are going to continue to live life happy, peaceful, and prosper without him.
That's so deep. Does the perfect man exist?
No.
What?
No.
How you said that fast?
There's nobody perfect in this world.
Okay, but I'm just saying though.
There's no perfect man.
Okay, so what is?
What's an ideal man? What's an ideal man?
Okay, but some women say, I want the perfect man for me.
No.
For me.
There's no perfect. You can't even get the same shoe. You're size 7 and your one foot is bigger than the other, and you can't buy a 7.5 for your right foot or a 7 for your freaking left foot. So like, it's there's nothing perfect. Imperfection is what makes beauty.
I feel like people are not, or like social media changed a lot of things nowadays. And I feel like people's preferences do not coincide with reality anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
So like, people are. I feel like even on dating. Are you on a dating site? Are you on any dating apps? Oh, you laugh like yes.
I did because it's funny because I signed up for one last week on some like just to see what's out there.
Oh no!
And I was like, sign out. It's not for me. Sign out. I signed out.
Which one?
I tried Bumble.
Okay, is that the one?
I don't know, but it's just
where
it's
I think Bumble. You have to hit the man up first.
I don't know. You just swipe left. That's all I learned.
Oh, okay.
I was swiping left for a long time. I said,
right.
This is not for me.
Yeah, I don't think Bumble is not. I think Bumble is like.
It's the new way to date.
Right.
It's not my way.
Yeah, but guess what? It's hella hard finding somebody out on these streets.
Agreed.
Because people are in love with the physical a lot, and like when they see you and they're like, wow, and they see your eyes and they see the shape and all that other stuff, and they're like, oh, she looks good, and then is that what attracts them first? Because online you can read words and see the person. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can see what the person is about. It doesn't mean that they're being truthful. I'm just saying.
This is what I mean. Like, who's gonna like not give the right answer to a question? Anyone could Google, what do you say to this? What is the right? Like, you can even Google like, what's the right questions to ask on an interview? Like, it's gonna give it to you.
So
like,
what do you think? You think people Google answers to or like things to say to women online? Like,
Bella did my profile. My daughter did my profile.
Oh my God! Don't expose that. No. Oh Jesus Christ!
I was like, how do I answer this?
She's trying to get your groove back. She's like, mommy need a boyfriend. My daughter said that to me too. She said, daddy, you need to be. I was like, damn, you only 6, 5. How you know about that? My daughter said,
they want to see you happy.
They want to see. She wants to see me buy stuff for myself.
But she also wants you to have a partner to grow with and be happy.
Well, I tried that. Almost made a mistake. And this is a thing, like, and we could speak on this too, since we both have kids, kind of similar situation. Bringing people around your children.
Never.
Without, well, damn, I didn't even get a chance to ask.
No.
Without getting a chance to know them, right? Like, how long? Oh, I got the question. Here it goes. How long does it take you to bring someone around your children that you're dating?
You want me to be honest? You might take a few years before you meet my kids. I gotta see the good, the bad, the confused, the weird. Like,
a whole few.
A few. It depends. It depends the person you are. Like, if you really touch my soul enough to make me want to do it, but my kids are my, like, everything right now. It's like my left lung, my right lung. No way. There's so many weird things going on, but also he has such a great dad that I have no choice but to filter the people that come near me.
Yo, do you feel like the man that you meet has to be at that standard or better?
Yeah. Because I'm doing it by myself. So what's the point? What do I need you?
Because he already set the bar already. Big Billy set the bar.
He set the bar, for real. He did. He made me self-sufficient.
Billy set the bar.
Self-sufficient.
Y'all gonna have
Remember, women used to have to go into things because financially they were being supported. The difference now with modern time is that women are really the go-getters too right now. So why would we have to like grab the first thing that comes to sight? Like, no, I feel like, yeah, Big Billy did put the stamina high. Why? Because he taught me how to stand alone if I ever had to. So then how do I look coming here because emotionally I feel empty, but realistically it doesn't work?
Do you feel like you were being taught while you were in a relationship, or do you feel like it was just natural and now that you look back you can see that you were being taught?
I was being taught the whole time I was with him since.
But did you know?
No,
you didn't know.
No.
So then you went back and you looked. So that's
I did know because anything I wanted to do, that was my, like, if I said I wanted to be the president, he'll sit and map out what districts we're going to. Like, he'll do the most with it.
I'm loving this story right now because I feel
like he wanted me to shine. Like, he wasn't a man that tried to dim me. And like, you know how some men can see women and be like, I can't like give her too much stuff because then she could leave me or she can outdo me. He wanted me to outdo him. He wanted me to like shine bright. He continues in spirit to push me to be great because I've learned to do it alone.
You ever had a dude become jealous of you? Like, I've heard women say,
I've seen friends that have mates that were jealous of them. Yes, I was very aware.
How is that possible though?
It's possible. Hurts.
Hurt hurts. Hurt people hurt people.
That's right.
Are you a texter or a talker?
I'm a talker. So modern time doesn't work for me. I hate texting.
No, it works. I don't know if it's the time. I think it's the age group.
There's no emotion in texting. My daughter says I'm dry. And I am, because it's like, call me, because I don't want to write a whole paragraph where we can actually speak about it. And I could hear the tone and hear whether the voice is like distressed or like the voice is genuine. Like, I don't know, it's just spiritually in tone.
On an online dating thing, a lot of women complain about dudes who go back and forth with texting too much. They're like, I don't want to text too much. I want to eventually FaceTime you. That's what they say. I don't want to text too much.
I'm old school. I'm a 90s kid, so I'm used to telephones. I mean, I'm getting used to texting. But I feel you could be dismissive when you're texting.
Why do good girls like bad guys? All right, you know what?
Because you always think you could change something.
Why? But all right. So you. Thank you for being honest. Okay.
Yeah, women are born to nurture.
Okay, but why do you feel like? Because that is why a lot of women complain a lot. I feel like about these F-boys or these men that
I would never get an F-boy.
They're not supposed to be with because they're trying to change them. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like the F-boys win. The vulnerable girls that are broken, they go out there not trying to self-love themselves. They go out there and get hurt again because they're not taking the time to like learn who they are now. No right. F-boys.
Check this out. You're gonna like this question. Right? Like this question. You meet a dude, right? It's perfect. Smell good.
Okay.
Teeth the way you like them. Talks the way you like them. Education the way you like it. Skin so smooth. Everything. Everything you could possibly imagine. He's doing it the way that you like it done. But let's say, do you eat meat?
Yeah.
Okay, you eat meat. He doesn't eat meat at all.
So then I won't cook him anything with me. I'll make him vegetable dishes. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you got to coexist with the partner you get. And, like, I'm not expecting you to change your lifestyle for me. If anything, we're supposed to be blending lifestyles.
Because I know some vegans that they ain't messing with no dude that got some beef in his teeth. They ain't doing that. I don't think any vegan would mess with a dude that eats meat.
That's not cool.
Dude, I'm just saying, think about it, though.
That's so corny.
Because, like, imagine sitting down with a dude that eats meat and you're vegan. Like, that's gonna...
I mean, but you gotta walk in every room in this world and blend in with everybody. So what? You think that so she goes to a meeting with her boss and she's having a ribeye. She's gonna say, I don't want to sit in this room with my boss eating a ribeye because I'm vegetarian. No, you gotta sit there and watch your boss chop down that meat. Right?
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I don't, all right, because I'm going to explain something to you. Now, watch this analogy.
Okay.
I used to deal with this girl. She's Muslim.
Okay.
Everybody like, how is that possible? She was Muslim when it was convenient for her. But one of the things that I didn't like is that, and like I said, convenient for her, one of the things I didn't like is that when it came time to eat, she would criticize what I ate. I'll be eating a whole turkey bacon or something like that, and she'd be like, Ashallah, or whatever she said. I don't know what she said, but she would just be like, yo, like, why are you eating that? And I'm like, what? So I feel like, yeah, we matched, but when you don't match on something that is a necessity for you to live, that's a big problem.
I mean, think about the culture though. Like, come on, you're New York, she's that, right?
But I'm just saying, no, she was hood too. She was hood, but it's just
different cultures though.
Yeah.
And that nationality is real heavy on their culture. They will not. You have to convert.
Well,
so like you have to give yourself to that religion because that's how serious that religion is.
I didn't convert, and she was getting that work. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I think that not. See, my whole point of asking that question is because when you're not able to meet in the middle on things that are necessary for you to live, you see what I'm saying? Food. So if we can't meet in the middle on a living situation, sorry, buddy.
No, that's a big thing.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's just certain things. You know how they say women shouldn't have a list of like what they don't want, but realistically, it's a realistic thing. There's things that are not compromisable.
Are you supposed to list all your things that you don't want?
No, because then you end up with nothing. You end up with nothing. I just think that, like, to me, I would be like, no pedophiles in my house. Like, I wouldn't be okay with dating someone that has a background in that sense, or there's just certain things I wouldn't want around myself or my kids, and it's not up for discussions. So if she would have criticized me on eating my food, I would have been like, you know what, it ends here. Date was a nice knowing you, but like you should also have manners.
The worst date.
Yeah.
And I'm at the worst date. Let me tell you something. I've been on some crazy dates, and I haven't been on a date in a minute. But actually, that's a lie. I did go on one. Stay tuned, cause you about to hear about that. You on a red couch with Burn. So you on a red couch with Burn. You sitting here with Aileen, and we was just getting into the last little bit of this, and she just said something off camera that was kind of like deep, right? That guys think about, and sometimes guys feel like y'all go on dates to get free meals. What do you think about that?
I had some guy friends that are like, this girl's asking for my leftovers, her leftovers. And I'm like, yeah, she went out there for a free meal. He's like she doesn't even know like what type of germs I have. She wants my leftovers. And I feel like some girls
that's what he said?
Yeah, he did. And he's a good guy. So like, I was just like, nah, that's not cool. She really there's girls out there.
Let me tell you why he probably came up with this analogy. He ain't break it down for you a little bit. I'm going to break it down to you.
Okay.
Because what happens is, that same woman or that same girl will end up going on a date with another guy and another guy and another guy. And, for the most part, y'all shouldn't have to pay for the first date, right? The dude should pay for the first date.
That's talking about that right now. We'll have a whole debate.
In quotation. I'm saying, I said in quotations because I've gotten a lot of women paid for they paid on the first date. What? Almost all the time. I swear, almost all the time, the woman paid for the first date. I would have to be like, yo, nah. I gotta fight them not to. And
that's a good thing.
And I think it comes from how you present yourself as a man. And if they know that you're gonna be able to pay for the next 5 meals, they're like, you know what? Let me get this one out the way, girl, because I know he's gonna pay. I know he's gonna pay for the next 5 meals, so I'm gonna pay this little $100. Here you go.
I was in a relationship for 23 years, traditional, right? My husband paid for everything.
Right.
And my friends. Like, if we were out, he was getting everyone a drink at the bar. He was moving that way. I'm old school. Like, I will give back if I feel you deserve it. But I feel like first dates, male should pay. I don't know about this whole 50-50 stuff. It's like you're a man at the end of the day.
See, that's going... wait, hold on. Because that's going to be a contradiction into a lot of things. Because remember, right now in New York, right, everything is expensive. And when you living with somebody and both of y'all are working, how am I going to pay for all of the dates?
No,
what are you paying for?
I pay for dates with my husband.
Okay.
I'm not going to go pay for dates for like dating apps and like trying to see, like, you're the man, you're the provider. Females are supposed to nurture and care. Like,
that's what she said.
That's what I say. Men are to provide.
Her standards are very high. Her kids take notes, okay? Because her standards are high.
And the women are supposed to nurture and love. So when you love and nurture a woman, she'll provide for you.
Roles have changed now. The roles have changed now.
So then I'm not good. I don't think I should be outside right now. I'm not ready.
I'm going to tell you something really quick, right? A lot of
I'm not ready then.
And I'm going to tell you why, right? Because, and we spoke about this on a couple of other shows, right? Is that women think men are softer now, right?
They are.
Right, and the reason why y'all think this about us is because we are now paying attention. Okay, we are now doing what you ask us to do. Before it was like, I ain't doing that shit, man. He's like, oh, ooh, I like that. I like when he say he don't want to do nothing for me. That turns me on.
What?
Foolish. But I'm just saying, y'all. Look. You saying what? But that is the reality of how a lot of women thought in the past. I'm not even gonna call on her.
Yeah, she's a modern. No,
I'm not about to say nothing because she's not on the show. But you're gonna have to come sit over here if you're gonna say something. No. You wanna say that real quick?
Okay, I got you.
So you on the red couch with Bern, and we sitting here with Aileen's daughter. She had to jump in real quick and say what she had to say about what we were talking about, okay? So say what you just said.
Okay, so I was raised with a dad that always taught me to educate myself, put my priorities first, and never be dependent on a man no matter what. So, like, I kind of disagree with my mom when she says, like, oh, I'm not going on no date if you gotta, you know what I mean?
No,
that's really not my vibe. No, but that's really not my vibe.
So what is? So wait a minute. So wait. What is her? No. Your delivery wasn't off. You old school with it, but let's hear what her vibe is.
Okay.
What is your vibe?
All right, I have a boyfriend, right? Mm-hmm. He has no problem paying for dinner. Okay. No problem for paying for dinner, and I don't mind that he doesn't pay for dinner. But I would pay eventually or sometimes, or I wouldn't even have a problem. Like if he's like, yo, I don't got it today. Cool.
But that's what your mom said. That's what your mom said that she did when she was with your dad. Yeah. She said that she did pay sometimes. But I think that what you're saying is that you will front your own bill sometimes. Yeah. Is that what you're saying? 100%. You're saying that you would go into the restaurant and be like, yo, I'll pay for my own thing.
That's independence though. That'd be like, all right, wow, like.
But if your boyfriend...
nowadays, girls don't want to pay, so it kind of gives a guy, like, this perspective, like, yo, you're a little spoiled brat. Like, no, I don't got to do nothing for you. Like, a girl that's paying her own thing, a girl that's doing her own thing and paying her own stuff, it's like, all right, well, I got another level of respect for you because I know you have your own thing going. Regardless of what your situation is, I know at the end of the day, you can handle your own.
Right, I'm going to agree with you and disagree with you at the same time. Yeah, because
then you got guys that live off of women, you know, that's womenized.
Okay, well, now you're going to win in now.
At this point, like, from my era, there is men that like to be taken care of by women, and I'm okay. True. And if we're in a relationship, I don't mind to pay for trips and dinner, true. But I'm not doing it to, like, on people I don't know, and then you're just coming with me for the date just because I'm giving you a free meal. Like, this shit's crazy.
But see, this is what I'm saying. So now I'm going to go back to what the young one said, right? Now, I get what she's saying. Sometimes what happens is, and going back to what you said about how we view, oh, damn, I got to pay for you every time, every single time. You know what? That's how it gets sometimes with us. But going back to this is why I said I disagree. Because when a woman screams, I'm independent, that's just basically saying I don't need a man. And I feel like every woman needs a man, just like every man needs a woman.
Agreed.
All right, young one. Had to break you down.
I'm out.
Had to break you down. Don't be coming over here talking about you know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying?
She corrects me, so you see why I stay in tune with the modern time.
She's good. She's good.
But yeah, I'm not out there trying to get a free meal or like anything. I grew up in a traditional old school relationship. It was like, I didn't even have to ask and he didn't have to ask me. I knew when to show up and give up. I've done through him birthday parties. I've privately paid it myself. I've done things for him as a man. Like if you're in a relationship, then it's a give and take system. You can't always think that you can receive and you're not giving back. I just think dating it's like for a man to be like 50-50 on it, or let's say if it's more than 3 times and you guys like each other's vibe, that's for the girl to be like, okay, I got it on this
That's
one.
when the 50-50.
Yeah.
So you got to go out on 3 dates.
I don't know. I mean,
in order to split the bill in half.
You got to see if the chemistry is there. Like if the chemistry is there, I'm a working woman. Like I wouldn't mind to swipe my card, but like you have to give me a reason to want to spend my money on you when I grew up traditional, where it's like the man at the end of the day is the man and the woman is the woman. I mean, that's what it is.
You on the red couch with Aileen, and we just wrapped this show up. Tell them where they can find you, Aileen.
Skyleen 83. I don't have a podcast name, but soon, eventually, after your mentoring.
Oh yeah, you gonna come to my class. Skyleen 83. There's no underscore? No. Skyleen 83 at Instagram. And like when you tap in, make sure you follow her and then press like on everything. It's
private, so I gotta go public soon.
Don't worry about it. Just follow her anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just follow her anyway, right? And you on the Red Couch with Burn, it's the Red Couch, right? So we on Instagram, we on Spotify, we're on Google Play, anything that you could possibly imagine, we are on it. Facebook looking real good. We had 11,000 followers. So tap in. Red Couch with Burn, Aileen. I loved your whole, it's just like output. It was just so great. I can't wait to see the footage from this show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.